Indian Express, 13th of April 2024, the India-China border dispute, the lack in actuality, beyond the hype. As it constructs a navy to dominate the Indian Ocean, China is diverting India's attention to the north while conducting an all-out war against the Indian subcontinent. The commotion surrounding the loss of a substantial portion of eastern Ladakh to China, an attempt to improve electoral prospects based on national security concerns. In August of last year, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, whose family also lost Akshay Chin, brought up this matter. However, there are no studies or experts available to substantiate such assertions. Ladakh has undoubtedly been and will persist as a significant flashpoint. The only border in this region is the 1,597-kilometer-long Line of Actual Control, LAC, a symbolic boundary that has divided India and China since 1962. Not even the LAC is adequately defined. Consensus is divergent in both nations. A total of 65 designated patrol points, PPs, are covered by the patrols, which extend from Karakoram to Chumar. Recent points of contention were PP9, PP10, PP11, PP12, and PP13 in Depson, PP14, PP15, and PP16, located in Hot Springs/Changchenmo, and PP17, 17A, situated in Gagra. The Chushul Pangong area. Conditions in the Sarijap Range, located on the north bank of Pangong, where finger series 1 to 8 protrude, are stable in the Chushul Pangong sector. In May 2020, the People's Liberation Army, PLA, invaded the Finger 3 to 4 region to obstruct Indian troops from conducting patrols. Following the February 2021 disengagement agreement, the state of affairs will be reinstated before May 2020. The Indian Army successfully thwarted the PLA's audacious attempt to seize Nyanlung Yokma/Gangma, also known as the Kailash Heights, situated at an elevation of 15,000 feet between Pangong Tso and Sfinger Gap in the Kailash Range in early September 2020. This decisive strategic maneuver was preemptive. Peace was reinstated after the parties agreed to withdraw from North and South Pangong Tso in February 2021. The Chenmo Valley of Chang. The PLA's incursions into Changchenmo Valley's Galwan Valley, Changlung Nala, Hot Springs, and Kongrong Nala, through which it had previously denied Indian forces access to certain areas, are also currently relatively tranquil. A disengagement was mutually agreed upon for June 2020. The Gagra Hot Springs region experienced ongoing instability until September 8, 2022, when all parties agreed to cease hostilities. There are theses no forward deployments. New patrolling standards are being implemented to establish a buffer zone. The demolition of all impermanent structures has been completed. However, tensions persist in the PP15 region due to China's continued determination to regain its position before April 2020. Deemchok and Depson. The sole areas of contention that persist are Depson and Deemchok, which foreshadow the 2020 standoff. The PLA has executed frequent offensive maneuvers from Track Junction Nala to the south across the Burts/Depson Plains since 2009. In 2011, the PLA constructed a 30-kilometer road from Rakanala to the Depson Plains. Burts became a flashpoint in 2013 when the People's Liberation Army established remote sites 18 to 19 kilometers within Indian territory, obstructing Indian patrols from PP10, PP11, PP12, and PP13. The Shyam Saran report, published in August 2013, unveiled the alarming fact that the PLA had area denied India 640 square kilometers of territory. Since 2019, the bottleneck area has been inaccessible to India, limiting its patrolling capabilities to PP10 and PP11. Similar to the situation in Galwan, the Chinese road construction along Jivan Nala to the south, adjacent to our Murgo post, can potentially sever the Indian supply line to the DBO at Murgo. According to experts, The Chinese control between 600 and 800 square kilometers of the southern half of the Depsang Plains. The current situation continues to be intricate and impasse-ridden. Complete disengagement has thus proven to be elusive. Since 2018, the PLA has been violating the LAC to impede Indian patrolling at the Charting Nilong Nala, CNN, junction in Deemchok. The disagreement has reached a deadlock. Concerning the Ladakhi Changpa's loss of grazing land, movement along the LAC was restricted due to the extensive militarization of the Chinese and Indian armies. Following the Depsang incident in 2013, India inducted numerous reinforcements, including artillery brigades, to fortify its defences. Infrastructure enhancements are made. Expanding infrastructure in eastern Ladakh over the past few years is an undeniable reality. Before that, the Chinese exerted pressure and coercion on India due to the latter's laxity. From the 1960s to the 1990s, they seized a portion of Ladakh territory. Now, the circumstances have changed. The UPA administration increased construction activity in India, but the endeavours were entangled in fraud and corruption schemes. The BJP administration has expedited the connectivity projects, including the 260-kilometre-long Shyok-Dbyo road, which was completed on a war footing. Dbyo is now 8 hours away from Dorbuk, which provides Indian forces with a significant tactical edge over the treacherous terrain. One of the primary factors that compelled the PLA to alter its course of action was India's increasing dominance in remote regions. The PLA accused India of transgressions along the LAC, which incited the Galwan standoff in 2020. Additionally, we have enhanced our aviation infrastructure after reactivating every abandoned advanced landing ground, ALG, at Dbyo, Fuchs, and Nyoma. An expansion is underway to transform the Nyoma ALG into a fully operational airfield capable of receiving both cargo and fighter aircraft. This will enhance the security situation in eastern Ladakh and foster economic growth in the Changdang area. It was suitably retaliated against the Chinese aggression. Overall, it is indisputable that the Indian forces responded appropriately to premeditated Chinese aggression in 2020. Thereby preventing China from achieving a strategic victory. Beijing has been forced to recognize the repercussions of its misguided actions. Even though the 21st round of Congress commander-level meetings was convened in February to alleviate regional tensions, the LAC situation remains deadlocked. The allegation of significant territorial loss is thus a ludicrous fabrication. From a technical standpoint, no intrusion has occurred on our end of the LAC. Dilemma in LAC perception has exclusively given rise to inconsistencies in the grey zone patrolling areas. Both factions should seize new opportunities to restart the stagnant process of elucidating the LAC after the formation of the new government in New Delhi.